Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is June 15th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1908, former Canadian heavyweight champion Earl McCready. 1958, Scott Flash Norton. 1961, one of the Armstrong clan, Brad Armstrong. 1971, part of the New Blood, Chuck Palumbo. 1989, don't ask to give her a hug anymore, it's Bailey. And last but not least, 1997, watch out, he's swinging from a vine or on a dinosaur, it's Jungle Boy. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for June 15th. 1996, the hard-hitting Dick Murdoch. 2007, the sensational Sherry Martel. And last but not least, 2016, journeyman wrestler Gypsy Joe. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for June 15th. A short trip in the Wayback Machine as we start in 1970, where we see Beepo Mongol and Ghetto Mongol defeat Tony Morano and Victor Riviera to win the WWF International Tag Team titles. Making two stops in 1979, first, Seiji Sagagachi and Riki Choshu defeat Hiro Matsuda and Masa Saito in Los Angeles, California for the NWA North American Tag Team titles. Our second stop in 1979, the Blonde Bombers, Larry Lantham and Wayne Ferris, defeat Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee to win the AWA Southern Tag Team titles. Grabbing my boombox and going to 1980, where we see Sangre Chicana defeat Churro Mendoza for the NWA World Middleweight title in Monterrey, Mexico. Just 2 years later, in 1982, one day after losing the world-class American title to Fritz von Erich in Fritz's retirement match, King Kong Bundy is awarded the title due to Fritz's vacating it. This was Fritz's 15th and final reign. Our last stop in the 80s, 1986, Rufus R. Jones and Mike George defeat Hacksaw Higgins and J.R. Hogg to win the NWA Central States Tag Team titles. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1990, John Tatum defeats Bill Dundee for the USWA Southern Heavyweight title in Dallas, Texas, ending Dundee's second reign and beginning Tatum's second. Jumping ahead 2 years to 1992, Eddie Gilbert defeats Jerry Lawler for the USWA Unified World Heavyweight title in Memphis, Tennessee, ending Lawler's 12th reign with the gold. 1996, Brickhouse Brown defeats Bart Sawyer for the vacant USWA television title in Memphis, Tennessee. 1997, WCW held the Great American Bash pay-per-view in Moline, Illinois, with the main event being Randy Savage defeating Diamond Dallas Page in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And last but not least, 1998, the Monday Night War rages on with WWF Raw is War, featuring a Hell in the Cell match in the main event, a match that has since been ignored when discussing Hell in the Cell matches ever since. Steve Austin and The Undertaker fought Mankind and Kane to a no contest in that Hell in a Cell. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for June 15th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.